Well, there's no time like the present. These exterior light luminary sconces, they should be sealed to help prevent moisture from getting in, just like the meter. The meter is on the garage northeast corner on the garage north wall. Power into the house is below grade. Right now we only have one ground rod visible. 14 years ago, that's about the way they did it. So, but by today's standards, that's a safety issue. So that's going to make the report. The meter, like the wall sconces, should be sealed on 3 sides. Stepping inside the garage. So this is the garage east interior wall. This is your electric load center. This is the dead front cover. This is the main electric service cabinet. On the dead front cover, what do we have? Well, one thing we got is it was properly screwed in, but it's hand labeled. Hand labeled, okay? That's written. It's supposed to be printed. So this is printing. That's printing. These are all supposed to be printed. They're not supposed to be not block writing, block printing. It's definitely not cursive, but it's not supposed to be handwritten. It's not. So just let you know. Okay. This cabinet, the way it's installed into the wall, we got more than 1/8 of an inch gap. So the fire can come in from the cabinet around the edge and out. Speaking of the cabinet, look at all this combustible sawdust in here. Oh, none of that's supposed to be in here. None of that's supposed to be in here. I'm going to continue on. How is this cabinet installed? With sheetrock screws. Screws are fast and tight. I get that. Okay? But they don't have the same shear strength that nails do. If this cabinet had been nailed in place, if this structure was to experience, for example, a tornado, or we do have some little earthquakes around here, but a tornado, something like that, well, you've already got a bad day. Everybody agrees with that, but no. If this cabinet would stand a better chance of staying safely in place, or at least remaining in place, if it had been properly nailed in, not screwed in with sheetrock screws. Those are brittle. They break. They'll pop off. This thing will just like fly around. Okay. This right here is called bundling. It's very common, especially in the age of this house. It's very, very common. It doesn't make that it's right. Okay, you see that big hole, that big punch out? That's for these lines. We don't know where these lines are coming from, so we have these big holes here and here and here and up there too. See these little holes? See those little punch outs? Those are for these. You're not supposed to bring more than 2 cables in at a time. It's called the skin effect. And again, even the illustration that I have that demonstrates this basically apologizes for it. You're not going to, it's so common. I'm not saying that it's right because it's wrong. Because it's wrong. But I am going to say that, good luck. That house has it. My house has it. My house is not for sale. Okay. Your realtor's house has it. I think I inspected his house. Okay. So, this is L1 and L2. There's supposed to be some protective plastic rubber boots on these. And this is your main neutral coming in. And it's supposed to be wrapped with white tape so that you know that that's the main neutral. And if you're in this cabinet, if you're in this box and you don't know that's the main neutral, you don't belong in this box anyway. I get it. But that's the code requirement. That's the code requirement. They want to make it foolproof. You don't want a fool in your cabinet. And the same thing goes for these. See these white hots? These white hots going here? They should be wrapped with black tape so that any fool would know that that's hot. And again, if you don't know that's hot, you don't belong in this cabinet. It's 225 amps. 225 amps. And when this home was built, AFCIs were required in the bedrooms. That's all they were required in. If this home was built this morning, like the house I inspected yesterday, for example, you'd have AFCIs almost everywhere. But they're only in the bedrooms. But they're safety devices, so it's going to make the report. And like the house I inspected yesterday, since it's occupied, I'm not going to trip these. I'm just looking for their operation. It's an occupied home. I'm not going to, put somebody and, turn off somebody's computer. Something like that. So anyway, when an occupied home, according to the Texas Real Estate Commission, this inspection is limited to just the location of the arc faults. It's not the operation of the arc faults. So that's it. So sawdust. Oh, and then the bonding location. Okay, so we got that one ground outside. One ground here. Am I seeing any other big grounds? No, it's just a single ground. It's a single ground. I don't know where the bonding is, or if there is bonding. I haven't found it because usually the bonding is labeled inside of here. So what do we know? We know that the bonding's not labeled. We know that we have a single ground. We know that we got a gap in the panel. We know that we got sawdust in the panel. We know that the panel is improperly screwed in place. We know that we've got bundling. We know that some of these cables are touching the cabinet cover. I don't think that was in the original one. We know that we do not have the protective booties. We know that the main neutral is not wrapped with a white tape, and we know the white hots are not wrapped with black tape.